All right, Shalom. Shalom, giving all praises, all glory, all honors unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, double honors to the apostles, the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the rest of the hopeful elect out there. This is your brother, the priest, Desire Warren from GMS Atlanta, back with another edifying video. And we're inching ever closer to the mark of the beast, the digital ID system nationwide, and the central bank digital currency, the stable coin. And what I have here is Project Crypto. Project Crypto. Okay? So there's a number of different articles dealing with this and information on this Project Crypto, which, let me do this here. What is Project Crypto? Okay, so here we go. So it says Project Crypto, modernizing U.S. securities regulation for digital assets. Project Crypto is a comprehensive initiative by the United States Securities and Exchange Commission to modernize securities regulations and integrate blockchain technology into U.S. financial markets. It says here the project aims to establish clear rules for the crypto industry, encourage innovation, and solidify the United States' position as a global leader in digital finance. And this is something that we here at GMS, as the true prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, having 100% truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And I say that humbly, but also, boldly, factually, because this is something that we've spoken about on our lessons, on the streets, on our videos, and our as a part of our talking points and prophesying about this for years. The whole time that from the apostles coming on YouTube until now, and the different brothers in the different GMS camps in the different states around the country and around the world, we've always said that, especially once you had digital currency come on the scene like Bitcoin and other digital currencies, we've always said that it was going to be the government that was going to push digital currency. And we've seen that. We've seen that develop with the CBDCs over the last 10 years or so. But now it's officially being stamped with legislation. Because GMS has always been right. And you other Israelite groups, you're going to find out that GMS has always had the 100% truth and always been right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because there's only one truth. There's not this group has this truth and this group got the truth. And now, yes, we all teach that we're Israelites. We all teach that the so-called black Spanish and Native Americans are Israelites. But then you got some that don't. And then when you investigate further into the different Hebrew Israelite, I'll say this, the One West groups, when you dig further, then you find out the different viewpoints and doctrines, which they're all going off in some way, shape, or fashion, except for GMS and our affiliates. which I pretty much consider GMS. You know, we're all teaching the same thing. But we told you, we warned you, right? We prophesied that these governments were going to start to put, especially here in America and the U.S., that, and yes, we prophesied this because when everyone didn't believe us, then more and more evidence showed up, and that was just proving us right. But we've been telling you that these governments, like I said, the U.S. at the top was going to start pushing for digital currencies. Everybody thought Bitcoin was the future and these different private companies and private digital currency. Nah, that was just a testing ground all this time. Okay, the digital currencies that's going to be pushed is going to be the government official currencies set up by the U.S. and these different governments around the world. All that owning private currencies and all that's about to go out the window. You will have no privacy. Okay, as famous quote, right? Infamous quote, I'll say, from I believe it's Klaus Schwab, during the one of the recent WF World Economic Forums. He said that you will own nothing and like it. You will own nothing. Because you too, once they push this implantable microchip, you too, I'm talking about you citizens out there, you non-believers. I'm not speaking about those of the hopeful elect that understand what I'm saying. And even for you new believers, listen, these governments are going to introduce the mark of the beast, which is the implantable microchip. And the plan is for the elites to not just own everything, but own people as well. And this Project Crypto is another stepping stone to that point. Because if you can control money, how people make their money and what the actual currency is, and how much of that currency an individual owns, and with that currency being the only way that someone can live and acquire and purchase anything, then you own that person. That's why they want to introduce digital ID and these digital currencies, because that is the key for the elites of Esau to further control the planet Earth. So I read this here about what Project Crypto is. So it says key objectives and features: regulatory charity, on-chain markets and tokenization, innovation and reshoring, a reg super app framework, and collaboration. Project Crypto signifies a shift in the SEC's approach to crypto regulation, aiming to embrace blockchain technology. And we've been prophesying that they were going to use blockchain and this technology and introduce it into the financial fabric and structure of America, to embrace blockchain technology and position the U.S. at the forefront of digital finance. It's from CNBC. SEC debuts Project Crypto to bring U.S. financial markets on chain. Let's see here. What is Project Cryptocurrency? Okay, here we go. On July 31st, 2025, SEC Chairman Paul Atkins delivered a major policy address at the America First Policy Institute in Washington, D.C., unveiling Project Crypto, a commission-wide initiative to modernize securities regulation in support of President Trump's vision of the United States as the crypto capital. So President Trump is he's down with the plan. He's just a puppet pushing the plan of the elites behind the scenes to eventually put a microchip in everybody around the world, especially around America. And the only way to do that is they have to set up a digital infrastructure to make that possible. And that includes digitizing the money. And we've been talking about this for years. See, you Israelites, IUIC, ISUBK, that's been talking down on GMS. Y'all, the leaders, which we believe the main leader of IUIC, Bishop Nathaniel, he sold out. General Yohana of the ISUBK sold out. All the members are being deceived by these leaders, but you all are going to find out that GMS was right. See, we've already broken it down. We've already gone into the articles, gone into the videos, gone into the different we've already gone into the different breakdown on what the Motb is. Now we're just getting these news reports and just speaking on how it's coming to pass now. But guess what? It's to the point that we told you so. We told you so. And I do videos on this topic, the Motb and the digital ID, digital currency. I do topics on this every week. Damn near every day. Every other day. Either I do an exclusive video or I mention it. Let me see here. And these are all the different news articles speaking on this. From Fortune, the SEC just unveiled Project Crypto. What you need to know. I read this, Wilmer Hale. Okay, I actually didn't mean to click on this, but let's see what this is. Fox News. All right, let's see if I can. Fox Business. Let me go back because it's not letting me. Okay, Fox Business expert touts SEC's Project Crypto announcement. This is innovation. Yeah, Fox News is for whatever the elites want. They got them lined in their pockets. So Fox is definitely on board with the agenda. CNBC, the SEC debuts Project Crypto to bring U.S. financial markets on chain. Let me see here. The Block. Okay, this is from a day ago. Bernstein we already know, small hat. Automatically we know that's a small hat. Bernstein says SEC's Project Crypto could rewrite the rules of Wall Street. Let's click on this. This is from The Block. Okay, The Block. This is from August 4th, 2025. Right, today is August 5th, so yesterday. Bernstein says SEC's Project Crypto could rewrite the rules of Wall Street. And this is the guy here. And I believe there's a video as well of him speaking about this. So let's see here. I just want to read a little bit of this. So it says, quick take. The SEC's Project Crypto initiative aims to reshore digital asset innovation. So like I said, everything is going digital. And overhaul securities regulation for the blockchain era. Analysts at Bernstein described it as the boldest crypto vision ever from a U.S. regulator, positioning the country to lead global financial transformation. They're going to introduce a new monetary system globally. This is part of the Great Reset. This is why when we go into the prophecy, when we go into the prophecy of the Motb, the mark of the beast, it always has to tie into financial. It has to tie into digital. It has to tie into technology. When you are introducing something that's going to change the way the whole world moves, because the way that America moves, that's the way that the world moves. Even right now, even though things are changing, and we know that America and Esau's system is ultimately going down, America is still the major mover and shaker around the planet. That's why we're seeing a hard push in other countries around the world, even for countries like China, to try to get ahead. But they're all pushing the same digital ID wallet, digital wallet system, digital currency and all. Oh, let me get the precept. Let me get the scripture, the famous Revelation 13 and 16. As a matter of fact, I'll read verse 15. Because we are seeing an image, a new image emerge, a new world, a new way of life emerge in the world around us. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which we know that this is Esau giving life into the revived Roman system, which is now turning into a digital system, digital Rome. That the image of the beast should both speak, which is what? Putting these regulations, these laws and legislations into place where people have to follow, different policies. What was once an idea is now manifesting itself, meaning it's speaking. It says, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast, worship meaning to do obedience, to comply, to listen to the powers that be. When it comes to, well, I'm going to read it, but eventually you're going to have to get an implant. But then at the same time, you're going to have to comply in a way with the digital ID. I've done a couple of videos recently on how they're about to change social media, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and others. They're going to set up, they're setting up age verification, content watching and so forth, which is pretty much going to be a lead up to the famine of the word. So we're not going to be able to push out these videos as freely as we could, soon. The Lord is closing up shop on this country, and essentially He's going to eventually have to put a stop to us teaching His word and lead us in a direction of faith, pure faith. That's why us speaking this truth 100%, acknowledging who the true men of the Lord are, being more bold with the gospel, and just teaching and focusing on edifying. That's why that is most important right now. The elect are pretty much sealed at this point. So it says, if you don't worship the image of the beast, should be killed. So they're going to get extreme. That means extreme draconian measures are going to be set in place soon. Verse 16, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And we've gone over this time after time, video after video, lesson after lesson, year after year, that mark is speaking about something physical being inserted under the skin, which is an implant, digital microchip implant, what we call the Motb. Where it talks about small and great, rich and poor, it's talking about those that are homeless to those that are rich, those that are in prison, those that are free, walking around, living, going to work, coming home, going on vacation, free, eventually getting this implant. All right, there's a major push in Britain now, a trial for putting the Neuralink in the forehead. So we're seeing these things come to pass. And who was the main ones pushing this? GMS. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So what does this new image tie into? It ties into everyone getting an implant, and it's going to be tied to finances. Well, you can't put paper dollars and metal coins in an implant. No, you're going to have digital money. And that's what we're seeing being developed when we're talking about this this project crypto here. Okay? And the sweeping endorsement of regulatory reform under the more crypto-friendly Securities and Exchange Commission, now led by Paul Atkins, analyst at Research and Brokerage from Bernstein, said the agency's new Project Crypto initiative marks the boldest and the most transformative crypto vision ever laid out by a sitting SEC chair. The time is now for the elites to start to push the Motb. Which we believe first, when they introduce the implant, it's going to be voluntary, and then something's going to happen to where they're going to push it and make it mandatory. Everyone's going to have to get it. The hour of temptation, what I call the great implantation. It says one that could reignite domestic innovation and turn the U.S. into the global epicenter of blockchain finance. This is the beast system getting ready to push the Motb. But first, everything has to be set in place. The digital infrastructure has to be set up first. Then they could begin to push the Motb. So there's a lot to this article. So it says, announced in the landmark speech on Thursday titled American Leadership in the Digital Finance Revolution, Evolution of Capital Markets from Buttonwood to Blockchain, Atkins' Project Crypto seeks to modernize U.S. securities regulation for the digital age, continuing the Trump administration's mission, because Trump is, at first he wasn't with pushing digital currency. Now in this second term he's with it because he's further tied into the elite's agenda. He's down with it. All right. It says the mission to make America the crypto capital of the world. Bernstein analysts led by Gautam Chuguni explained in a Monday note to clients, drawing historical parallels from the 1792 stockbrokers agreement beneath the Buttonwood tree, which goes back to the elites. The international banking families, they set this whole financial system up. Going to 1913 and the Federal Reserve and all of that, it's clear that this is something pertaining to the plans of this New World Agenda. It says, which laid the groundwork for the NYSE to the creation of the modern clearing system in the 1960s and the electronic trading reforms of the 1990s. So this is just another stepping stone into that point. It says Atkins argued that American financial regulation must evolve or risk being left behind. So they have to push the Motb soon. Okay? This digital currency. The analyst suggested that the dropped SEC case against Coinbase marked a regulatory shift from analog rigidity to digital pragmatism, with Atkins insisting that the U.S. framework need not be anchored to a past unkind to new frontiers, pretty much getting away from the money, the current money system. The future is arriving at full speed, and the world is not waiting. America must do more than just keep pace with the digital asset revolution. We must drive it, Atkins said in the speech. So, Project Crypto is here. It's as it said, they're moving full speed with it. You know, Trump, he signed the Genius Bill, stable coin, the big beautiful bill. All these things is leading up to them establishing the Motb and the digital system. So that's it on this. I'm gonna close out. Project Crypto. Hey, we've been telling you here at GMS that this is what they was gonna do.